Hello!
Hi, everyone!
Wait, if you're going to say hi over here, let's go full screen. Wait, that's just you.
That's just
Hi!
Me. Hi! Technical difficulties.
Oh, man. Story of our lives.
Hi!
Hello!
Hello! Hi.
You say that better than I do, though.
What? Hello.
Hello. Oh, God. See what I mean? Like, you say it so much better than I do. Hello. I hope that everyone is having a good Saturday night so far. We did the same thing that we've been kind of experimenting with, where we haven't really done much in the way of advertising this live stream, just to see how many people join us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also, in full transparency, still flirting with the notion of migrating a lot of this to another platform or something like that. You know, one that everybody can see without having to join a new platform, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, not necessarily migrating to Facebook Live or something like that. But I'm very interested in finding a way to do this where, you know, it's easy and we can all participate and just kind of have fun without so many technical glitches and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So I want to say hi to May and Shelly and Barbara. Thank you for joining us so far this evening.
Oh, Barbara, I've got to say your handy hint for getting notifications on YouTube is excellent. We've been using it in every single live stream since you posted it. And
so you mean yesterday?
And we'll be using it. We're going to use it today as well.
Yes, he's like, everything he says comes out mega epic because he's got that voice. And by the way, this light is way too bright.
Is it? Okay.
It is way too bright. Yeah. Because I could already see, like, I was just very extra super pale, and I kind of want people to be able to see my hair and my makeup with a little bit more detail. But yeah, like, the problem is with beauty lighting, if you crank it up to 11, it obliterates every single fine line, every little pore, all the texture on your face, which is cool if you're just trying to take like a selfie. But if you're trying to do like a demonstration of like, here's how you apply eyeliner, you kind of want to see the mistakes, right? You want to see, like, if I'm covering up a zit in a tutorial, you kind of want to see that there's a zit that I'm trying to cover up, as opposed to everything's just one big white blur. Right? That was not a good gesture. So I think that is a wonderful segue. Because I just realized I was making a vulgar gesture by accident.
Let's move on, shall we?
Yes.
So, yeah, Cheryl says, hi, everybody.
Hi, Cheryl.
Deborah says, love your hair. Which one is it?
This is a Bardot in Millionaire Shortbread.
And I'll be posting that as a runner shortly.
Yes, because we want to make sure that anybody who joins us can see what I'm wearing. I wanted to use that segue that Nigel was trying to interrupt. Dude, like, is that we don't do many like wig reviews. I definitely am not like a QVC style presenter. I mean, I don't have anything against people who do that stuff. I just am not that person. And also, you might expect some goofy vulgar gestures like the one I just did like 30 seconds ago, and some minor cussing. We are drinking. This is an adult party thing that we're doing.
Recipe to follow soon.
Did you come up with a name for it?
Yes, I did.
I'm excited to hear the name you came up with. This was a collaboration. It's like I mixed this for myself, and then Nigel literally set up this whole live stream on his own because I'm editing a video update for Patreon right now. And so this is the first one, I think, where he set it all up by himself. So that's pretty cool. We got to give credit to Nigel all the way around. Yes, excellent job, honey. But yes, I just want to make sure that disclaimer is in there that, yeah, this is definitely way looser than a wig review might be, though I'm happy to talk about this hair because it's fabulous. In fact, let's talk about this hair because it's fabulous.
And there's the runner for
you. So this is Bardot, which is from my limited collection, and this is in Millionaire Shortbread. I really like this color. I've kind of fallen in love personally with wearing things that are kind of like light browns. I mean, for a really long time, I was into like really dark brunette colors, and I still really love those. So I still try to make a lot of those, like our chocolate icing and our ravens and roses. I'm still working on more brunette shades. Oh yes, they're coming because I love brunette hair, and my natural hair color is very dark, but it's also becoming very gray. And the grayer it seems to get, the more comfortable I seem to feel in kind of like these these slightly lighter colors. I know that that's a pretty natural progression for women in wigs, but I just feel like I don't have to wear as much makeup with these colors as opposed to the darker colors because I don't know. I feel like these are a little easier for me to pull off. Though I do like the rooting. It makes it feel a little bit more natural to me, which is, I know, probably an odd statement given that this is supposed to make it look like a dyed color, but I like that because for me it would be. My natural color is like a 4 with like a lot of salt in that pepper. In fact, the rooting here is actually lighter than my bio hair color because the rooting here is like a 6. So, you know, but I like it. I feel at home in these kind of rooted colors. And I like that this one's kind of ashy. Like the blonde in the front is an ash blonde. And then the color in the back is warmer. So it's a really great color for somebody like me who's got a little bit of salt and the pepper because, you know, it's ashy and cool near my face. But then it's got a little bit of warmth in the back to kind of warm me up without looking, you know, too bright, too warm. And the eyeshadow I'm wearing, I've had on for like 5 hours at this point, and it is holding up like a champ. So I'm really excited about this. That is that brand that I still, for the life of me, cannot pronounce. The Cleonath.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a Canadian brand that has a very Gaelic name. Is it Gaelic?
Some form of Celtic.
It's like Gaelic or Welsh or something like that.
No, it's not Welsh.
Okay, it's Gaelic, but it's like really tricky for me as somebody who speaks like English, American. I speak American. Like it's difficult for me to be able to determine how to pronounce it. So if anybody knows, I'll tell you. But it's beautiful coloration. If I ever get more free time, I will research how to pronounce this so I can actually sound more confident someday. But it applies beautifully. But yeah. What's next?
All right, what's next? Well,
I know today's subject's going to be fun.
We're going to get to that shortly. Let's cover some questions or comments. All right, let's see. Cheryl says hi, everybody.
Hello.
Oh, we've covered that already. Particular says hi there. Hi.
I'm actually going to put you back on camera because
Okay.
you're looking at your camera.
And Kathy says hi.
Hello! Oh, Kathy! Kathy, I'm so happy that you're here.
We're gonna get to you later.
Yes, we definitely got something from Kathy, and we want to make sure that we talk about it a little bit. So stay tuned. But it arrived. We got it. I'm very much looking forward to completely destroying my diet with it. So it's gonna be fun. And he was particularly stoked about it. So oh yeah, look at the face.
Cheryl says, I'm not getting anything on Patreon, such as live streams. Do you mean notifications?
Yeah, I didn't actually put out a bulletin. Everything I do on Patreon is manual. So I haven't done it for this one because I'm kind of testing how far it would have to reach. And as far as the Patreon update, I'm literally still editing it. As in, he had to pull me away about 5 minutes before the live stream to touch up my makeup and sit pretty. And then when we're done here, I'm going to try to finish it up because it's a long update. And basically talks about some of the stuff that's been going on behind the scenes. And then I'm probably going to make another announcement there about the live stream. There will be a Patreon specific live stream. So if you are a member of my Patreon, it's going to be June 1st at 6 o'clock. And I will send that information out via Patreon. So if you are subscribed there, you will get that notification probably before the end of the weekend because I'm in the process of setting all that stuff up right now. We might actually test the Vimeo live stream feature because I mean, I pay to use Vimeo, so
might as well give it a shot.
Yeah, might as well see if it works. As far as I could tell, because somebody asked this, I think it was Serene who asked me when I mentioned this, and if you're going to look this way, I'll turn this camera on. Woo! There you go.
I'm just looking at you. I'm not looking at the camera. I'm looking at you because you entrance me, my precious.
Why is it that when I try to have Hallmark moments like yesterday, I was having like cheesy, lovey-dovey, wonderful moments with our audience, and you had to just like detonate that with guy stuff, and like now you're like lovey-dovey, sweet pookums or whatever.
Because it doesn't. Because either way, I make people laugh.
It's true. Yeah, you're charming in either instance, dear. I like your shirt.
Thank you.
It's very vibrant and happy.
Yeah.
Does it glow in the dark?
No, it doesn't.
It
but
should.
It's the photo. It's the shirt. We have a photo of you hugging me at your mom's place.
That's right. Oh my god, that was so long ago.
Yeah, in 2006.
We are very old people.
Yeah, I've had this for going on 21 years now, this shirt, and it's
the color has held up.
Yes, it has. Very good. It's from the original Clays Park Rock and Resort Music Festival in 2001.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Like
anyway,
that shirt can drive.
Yes.
Yes.
We've got some comments. Let's continue with some comments.
Yeah.
Okay. Faith says hi. Heather and
Hi,
Nigel.
Faith.
Hi, Faith. Pat says, Nigel, did you give a clue yesterday? I missed it. Watched the entire show. Yes, I did give a clue. It's in there. It's embedded. Can't repeat it, I'm afraid, but it is in there.
It's thoroughly goofy.
It is goofy. It is
Yes.
goofy. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But it is in there. It is in there. Yeah. Helen says, happy Saturday, everyone. Yes.
Hi, Helen. I love your hair.
Barbara says, by the way, let me say thank you for my Anya. I love her, especially in Tahitian Sunset.
Is that what you're wearing? It looks fantastic.
It does look good.
Yes. I mean, some of the Wigs Forever line can be kind of shiny until you style them and play with them and wear them. And it looks great in that photo. It really does. That's awesome. It's so exciting.
Dory says, hi, lovely favorite couple.
Hi, Dory.
And thank you. Kathy says, okay, so we decided to watch Pom Poko. You
Oh,
have to
no.
hand it to them. When it comes to magic scrotums, you just have to go with the Japanese.
See, we were not overselling the magic scrotum quotient in that movie.
No.
It is a key feature of that cartoon about cute, fuzzy animals and their magical transforming scrotums. Yeah, never get tired of talking about it if you couldn't tell.
Cheryl says, is Aniston foil cooler than this color?
That is an incredibly good question. And actually,
I'll hold
yeah,
the fort
hold
if you
down
wanna
the
go
fort.
find
I'm gonna
Aniston
go grab
foil.
one, and that way you can kind of see for yourself, because it's kind of a toss-up. I would honestly say that this one is probably a little cooler, but I'll let you be the judge. I'll be right back. I'll grab one.
But before you pop out the door, Dory says, Heather, you look stunning, marvelous, darling.
Thank you. I'm wearing kind of a swooshy, fun skirt. I love like feeling my Stevie Nicks moment. You know, the room's on fire, but I had to represent some Dalek energy for the afternoon. So,
well, this buggers are planned for conquering the universe.
how did you know?
Alrighty. Oh, thank you, Pat. This is my favorite show. You guys are fun. Thank you very much indeed, my dear. And hola to Bettina. Let's see who else we got. Is the community somewhere other than YouTube? Well, Cheryl, there's not a community. The whole thing about this YouTube thing is the community is for voting on the YouTube stuff. If you want to join up one of our Facebook groups, you can do that. And if you want to write into our help desk, support@CysterWigs.com, they can point you in the right direction for that. But when we talk about vote in the community tabs, it's only for the YouTube stuff, I'm afraid. Thank you, Bettina. Yeah, I mentioned the shirt earlier. I got it at my first ever first and only music festival I've ever been to, over 20 years ago. Let's see. Oops, where are we going here? I skipped. Oh dear, that went. Dude, boy, that just really, really, really skipped. I don't know what the hell happened here. Okay, right. You're welcome, Dory, and thank you. Right, let's see. Barbara from Texas says, good afternoon, Heather and the voice, Nigel. Good vibes. Thank you.
It's nice to have you with us too, Barbara. All right, so this is Aniston foil. Was it Cheryl that was asking for this?
Yeah. Let me see. Where was it?
Well, this is how she'll come in the packaging. So this is what the packaging looks like. And it's kind of, flat packed. So I'm going to go ahead and take Mirabella out. The color I'm currently wearing is a heat-friendly color. So you can tell when I hold this Aniston foil up that not only is it much more highlighted and dynamic, but it's also a little shinier, probably. Removing it from the packaging. It's still got its hang tag and everything on it. But
It does look a bit cooler, I think.
I'm gonna take up the whole screen for a moment so people can see them both. Okay. So you can see this is much more dynamic. The Aniston foil literally is meant to look like it has like foiled highlights all over it in 2 different colors. So the base color is like a 12. You know, it's like a light golden brown, but it's like a really subdued golden brown. It's not like a really crazy warm color. You can kind of tell it could almost go cool, particularly since there are so many cool tones in the color. And then it has 2 different tones of highlights in it. It's got this really beautiful like light ash blonde highlight, almost like a platinum. And then it also has like almost like a honey blonde color on it. So it's just supposed to look like it's got just a really rich, dense distribution of all these different highlights, hence why we called it a foiled color. This one's not the same kind of layout. It doesn't have the platinum in it. That's a big difference right away. Millionaire Shortbread might have the ash blonde, and it might have a little bit of a warm tone, but the color back here is more like a 27, you know, so it's more like a light auburn, like caramel brown color, whereas the color that's in the highlight shade here is definitely more of like a honey blonde. It's a lighter color than what's in the back of Millionaire Shortbread. The other big difference is that with Aniston foil, the rooting is significantly lighter. Can you guys tell that? The rooting is a 12, so it's the same as the base color, whereas this rooting is a 6, so it's much darker, much more dramatic, and that makes sense because most of the limited collection has really basic cap construction, so dark roots tend to help kind of obscure that a little bit, whereas here we kind of like want a little bit extra and put that nice skin part in there, which again is not like a rubbery hard disc like it is with cheap brands. This is like a really pretty very flexible kind of like a fabric part. But yeah, I mean, they're in the same wheelhouse. They're in the same kind of light dynamic brown family, but I would definitely say that for my dollar, this overall will look a little bit ashier just because it doesn't have all those dynamic honey blonde highlights in it. But I mean, it's kind of a toss up because this just has so much going on compared to this color, because the way this is laid out, the Millionaire Shortbread is like dark root, and then you get like a block of that ash blonde here in the front. It's like boom, and then it gradually melts into the rest of the color, which is that 27, and then it's kind of like ombre in the back where it's ash blonde at the bottom. So it's meant to look like a very subtle kind of melted ombre color that just happens to be predominantly ash blonde in the front. Whereas this is kind of like the same mix all over the place, except in the very, very nape, which is darker on purpose. So there you go. On short styles, this ought to look really cool too. I'm kind of excited to try this one on a pixie.
Okay, just interrupting here.
Yeah.
Getting an absolute avalanche.
Yeah, I'd be happy to answer your
service stream.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, if you've got stock inquiries, you know, for stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't want to stop the live stream to look up a spreadsheet.
and web store stuff. Please direct your inquiries to support@CysterWigs.com, and they'll be able to answer your questions.
Right, and if any of these are sold out in either of these 2 colors, which I mean, both of these colors have been incredibly popular. Bordeaux has been very popular. Mirabella, we still have some inventory, but I think she might be sold out in the Aniston foil because that one's been kind of a runaway hit so far. I mean, it's people have really been getting that one and gobbling it up. Yeah. I don't blame them because I love it too. But the
pre-orders up.
Well, that and we have a form. Yeah. If anything's sold out, you can literally sign up to get text notifications and emails if you want, or both. You can get one or the other or both. If you fill out that form and let us know what color and style you're interested in, if it's sold out, what I do is I can generate reports on the back end. I mean, this is totally like not stuff that you guys got to worry about, but I just want to let you know how it works on my side of things. What it does is I have a program on the back end that plugs into that form, and I can literally generate reports based on demand. So if we get a lot of people who say, hey, I'm waiting on more of this Mirabella and Aniston foil, then I'll make another run of it because we have enough demand to justify making more. We'll make more. So don't be discouraged if you see that it's sold out. And also, furthermore, we're also super, super small company. And I know I keep saying that over and over again, but it really impedes the speed at which we can refill things. So for us, it is not like a deliberate thing that we sell out quickly and then make you guys wait on tenterhoofs for more. It's that we basically just have very limited funds to be doing this sort of thing, but we plan it in advance and kind of anticipate what people are into. And I don't know how to say this succinctly, and I'm failing miserably at doing so. But in general, like, we're planning to refill a lot of this stuff in the fall. I should have just said that. So
Okay.
if you don't see it now, it might be there by the fall. And we're still waiting for our spring collection to arrive, which should come in, or at least start coming in at the beginning of June. And once that comes in, we're not going to be able to list everything all at once, because Nigel and I are taking all those images basically on our own. So that's the bottleneck. It's just a matter of inspecting them upon arrival, taking images of them, and getting them listed on the site. And then so we'll start trickling out our spring collection all throughout the month of June. So things that I've been putting feelers out about, like our holographic blonde for Ambrose and stuff like that, all that stuff you'll start seeing in the month of June. That's about as good as I can get with the information about inventory off the top of my head.
All righty, we got one more comment. I think we should crack on. From Flab to 14, says, hello, recovering from surgeries, waiting on my hair to grow back out. Well, we wish you a speedy recovery then.
Absolutely.
Definitely. All righty. Yes. Right.
And we're glad that you chose to hang out with us. That's super cool.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. It's great to have people joining us.
You know what else is great, Nigel?
What else is great?
Candy.
Yes, well, let's get to that. Before we get to the main event of tonight, we've got some stuff. People have shared stuff with us. Now, last week, we showed you the gift box that Michelle from Mimo Wigs sent Heather, and couldn't find the letter that she sent along with it. Well, I found it, and you'll see it's all written in
Oh, hold on.
So thank you, Mimo. That's fantastic.
Yes, I'm so happy we found the letter.
Sorry if I came out sounding like Lorraine Kelly on testosterone.
You have a better Scottish accent than I could approximate. I'm hopelessly Midwestern, and we're getting an up-close view of your beard. That was a magnificent shot. wait. Have you guys ever heard of what are they called? Psycho Stick? They have a song called "Respect the Beard" or something like that. No. It's pretty funny. I highly recommend it. They're like Weird Al if Weird Al did like metal.
Oh, are they a Canadian band?
I don't know. I just know that they do a song about beer that's funny and a song about respecting the beards.
Yes, you showed me that on YouTube.
But I like my favorite one is the one where he's like, well, I like This Is Not a Song, It's a Sandwich. That's a good one.
That's a weird one.
That's a fun one. And then the one where he asks all these questions and I it's like we ran out of space for the song or something. I don't remember what it's called, but he's like, what if the world were made of lots and lots of puppy dogs?
Yeah.
You would be like, oh, come here, boy. Come here, boy. Oh, look at the puppies. Like, that's a lyric in this song.
That's actually how it goes.
It's actually how it goes. It's like nothing but all these like what if the world were things. Like it's very good. Yeah, it's
Right.
I recommend it.
Yeah, fun but very weird stuff. And yeah, stay weird, definitely. Call back to an earlier comment. But yeah, and speaking of Canada, because I mentioned Canada, I couldn't remember if Psycho Stick are Canadian band, but we've got something from Canada. This is our friend Kathy Christensen. Thank you, Kathy. Says, greetings, Heather and Nigel. I'm a keen fan of CysterWigs, and I, as well as my husband, both love listening to your Saturday live stream on CysterWigs too.
Hello, Kathy, husband.
Apart from the good info on wigs, we love the banter and drink recipes. More on that later. We felt a little sorry for Nigel that he is so far from his native goodies and stuck because of COVID. So since we here in the Great White North are a bit closer to the mothership than the Yanks, we have yummies from Cadbury readily available, and we thought that we would send him some Mr. Big and Bounty bars. Okay, so they're the bite-sized ones to brighten the day. Naturally, they're for Heather too, but we know she does not eat too much of this stuff. Keep up the great videos and wigs. Oh, Kathy, thank you so much, because I'm going to show these fine folks what you sent us.
Yes, I'm gonna take myself off of here for just a moment so they can see it in all of its glory.
Okay, for starters, we've got 2 packs of bite-sized Bounty. If you like Mounds, which is coconut chocolate-covered coconut, that's pretty much what these are, only better. And then there are these, which I've only seen once in England, but apparently they're big in Canada. And when I say they're big, they're big. This is a Mr. Big bar.
Here, I'll hold up my water bottle by comparison. Yeah.
It's, roughly the length of my head minus the beard. So, yeah, these are good. I had these once. We got like for a special at a post office in Chelston once, and I haven't seen them since, but I'm tearing this open now.
Yeah, I want to bite though.
Of course you can.
I'll probably end up with some in my teeth and it will look super unprofessional. That's on brand.
So unprofessional. Here you go.
Yay.
And well, if we're doing
we gotta toast to Kathy and her husband.
Yes, indeed. Well, if we're doing this as a proper, it's stuck because it's caramel. If we're doing this as a proper internet tasting thing, we have to do the obnoxious thing. Oops, there it is. Caramel leaked out. Where we toast, and then for someone.
Wait, did that show up here? Wait.
Take yours. Take mine off.
Oh wait, no. Technology.
Ding. And then we have to do the bit where we smell it like a dog because.
You watch way too many of those tasting videos.
Yeah, and then look at it as if it's going to bite us, and then you can see in here.
Okay, I gotta make the face.
It's got lovely vanilla wafers and caramel and crispy stuff.
This smells fantastic.
Who
comes up with this stuff?
Geniuses. Kings of men.
We're stoners. I could easily see this being like stoner food. For sure.
I'm wearing the perfect shirt for it.
Yeah, which is really funny because you've never even done that before. But this is quite good. The texture is really the superstar. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
This is like a
I've
symphony.
got 4 more of these bad boys.
Oh my god. Those are all you. Because I will gain like 50,000 pounds just sniffing that stuff. I might gain weight just watching you eat it. But it's so good.
There, I'm a Bounty.
Oh, they're so cute.
Bite-sized Bounties.
They're packaged like little French bonbons. I cannot eat that quickly. I gotta take my time.
You do that.
I like this thing called chewing. Yeah.
Overrated. I'm Nigel Actus, devourer of worlds. I am an engulfer.
Yes, you've evolved to the point where you don't need to chew.
Heather, I can chug pies. All right? Seriously. My friend Chris made sure after I've been away from the USA for many years, Chris decided to treat me when I came back to visit with a pumpkin pie that he froze and kept for me. And I savored the rest of it. Believe it or not, I actually savored it. But the first slice,
I don't believe that at all.
I don't blame you. But the first slice, I just went. Oh. It's like a snake with a bulge going down the throat. Oh, it was bliss. Ah. But yeah, so where were we?
I don't know. You were talking about pie.
Yeah, we're doing this. Yes.
Yes.
All right, so we've got Memo's
These are
Wee
so
Gifty
cute.
Leather, Kathy's Canadian Care Package.
Yes.
Oops.
I'm gonna actually save this for a little later in the stream. I think I'm good with sugar between this and the drink. But I mean, Bounty are amazing. I had one of those when I was in England, and they're better than Mounds. They're wonderful.
And I'm going to go off the screen now because Heather's friend Holly sent us a big care package as well.
Yes. Oh, and this is the first time I'm looking at this. So it's a bunch of cute stuff, and she's got adorable children that are adorable. Oh, like I love her youngest son, and I love his ears. I hope he never changes them because they're just so freaking cute. They are so cute, and he just is such a little character. In fact, all of them have such wonderful personalities. You know, like they're all completely different, and they're all just so interesting.
Oh, bugger.
What's wrong? Yeah?
Every time you've put me on my camera, my microphone has been muted.
Oh.
So I didn't get to hear the letter.
Oh, no. Ah! Nigel, technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
I think you might have to do that again.
All right, we'll do that again.
All right, but I'm gonna talk about Holly a little bit first. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I love her kids. I'm not gonna name them because I don't want to out them or anything. But like they're just so incredibly cool, and you can tell they all have like distinctive senses of style. And the way that her oldest is dressed is just like me and my friends used to dress back in high school in the 90s. So I'm kind of feeling that look a lot. Let's see. She sent me a little thing that I'm gonna add to my set. I have to add this to the set. It says friends are caffeine for the soul. And this is like my BFF. This is a friend that I've had for ages. We used to work together at an Olive Garden. Okay. Just a little history between me and my friend here. So I worked at the Olive Garden as a waitress, and she got hired on to do Expo. And, Expo people, if you've ever worked in a restaurant, they basically take all the stuff off the window under the heat lamps, and they create trays that the servers then take out to their table. So they basically assemble all the orders based on what's on the order, and then they call your name, and then you come take it and run it off to your table. And I remember her first day of working at the Olive Garden with me, the day I met her, very distinctly, because she was the loudest person other than myself I had ever met. She was so loud. She was like, table 18! And you could hear her all over the dining room. And I was like, this is one of my people. And she's beautiful. She's like drop dead gorgeous. And so I was like, she's the pretty loud one. And like, I was the fat loud one. And we just embraced it. And we would just like hang out together. And it was a lot of fun. I miss those days sometimes because like it was our wild misspent youth days. But the thing is, it's just cool that she thought of me and sent me some stuff. Like, it's not my birthday or anything. This was just to be nice, and it's so cool. So I'm gonna have to send her some stuff too. We did actually send her and her kids a ton of wigs. Like, I was doing all this research on fashion wigs, so I probably sent her about $600 worth of hair just to play with. And she sent me pictures of them playing dress up and stuff. It was so cool. It was so cool. But anyway, let's see what this is. Oh, look! It's a kitty with a star on its tail, and it's like mother of pearl.
And it's sitting in a moon.
And it's sitting in a mother of pearl moon.
It's a moon kitty.
Oh my god, I love it. I might have to put that on because I don't actually have any jewelry on. I think I got it all tangled because of the way I was handling it.
Oh dear.
He said, "Oh dear." That's not a good sign. We'll figure it out.
No, we'll get there.
And there's more candy. Oh, it's this nifty Japanese candy. Oh wow. So apparently I got peach. I love gummy candy. I love fruity candy. It's so weird. If you gave, like, I know most people will go right for the chocolate, but if you give me the opportunity to have something like fruity, I will probably choose that instead.
Yeah, take your wig off.
No, I'll just lift it up.
There you go.
Yeah. Pretend like it's growing out of my head.
There you go.
Yay.
Pretty
Thank you,
little kitty.
Holly. That's so cool. That's so cool. We're gonna have to make sure that she and her kids see this, because I wanted to make sure we open this on camera.
Yeah.
No, we took out anything that would give away their identities.
Yeah.
So this is
all the sensitive material has been taken out.
Grape. We've got apple. We've got muscat. Oh, this is grape. This is another kind of grape.
Oh, I love muscat grapes.
Okay. We'll have to share. You shared yours with me. I'll share mine.
Sure.
And again, peach, and then a Turkish delight.
Oh, Turkish delight.
Yeah. Oh, Turkish delight's hard to beat. So thank you, Holly. That's so incredibly nice, you guys. And I'm gonna have to pay. I love, like, you know, doing this and kind of like showing people and sharing this with everybody, because I know I don't know about you guys, but when I give people gifts, I really love watching them open them. Like, that's literally more fun to me than getting gifts sometimes. I just love watching people open gifts and seeing the look on their face, and I'm like, oh yeah, they like it. So just know we really appreciate this, and it's just, they're so cute. They're so stinking cute. Like, I just want to hug them all.
I have to share this comment.
Yeah.
Bettina says, gave my cousin's wife a plaque that says, family is like fudge, some have nuts.
Words of wisdom there. Though I'm probably one of the nuts. Though I would argue, if my family is like fudge, then we're a nut-based fudge. We are all a little bit nutty. So peanut fudge. It's delicious.
All righty. So shall I try?
That's a polite segue.
I maintain a politic silence.
You are very wise, dear.
So, shall we try this again?
Yeah, I'm going to remove myself again. Is your mic on?
Okay.
My mic is now on.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, is yours muted? Okay, let's try this again. Letter from Mimo Wigs. Again, in a bad Scottish accent.
It is not meant to be mocking. It's just the best.
No, not meant to be mocking, but Heather got a kick out of it, so. Hey, beautiful. Heather, I've been meaning to send this over to you for so long. My plan was to get a card and some other wee bits and pieces, but my stupid health nonsense has caused delays, so I thought I should send this over before we are all old-age pensioners.
Still makes me laugh.
I've popped in this wee Mimo wig carry case, but it's just a wee multi-purpose case for you. Sending all my love. I'm sure I'll get more sent over soon when shops are open and life is more normal. Pass on my love to all the CysterWigs team and also to Nigel. Thank you, Mimo.
Yeah, I also love the fact that it's pretty evident that she had a multicolored pen.
Yes.
Because she
the 4-color pen.
Different colors. It's so cute.
Don't know if you can see that, but yeah, all different colors.
Infinitely more legible than mine. I would love to handwrite more notes, but oh my god, you don't want to see my handwriting. It's awful.
We'll catch up with you soon. All my love, Michelle, aka your wee Scottish bald buddy. And
go ahead.
And once again, the letter from Kathy, which got muted.
Oh no!
Yeah, we missed both of them because I had the.
Oh god, there's all this dead air now.
Greetings, Heather and Nigel. I'm a keen fan of CysterWigs, and I, as well as my husband, both love listening to your Saturday live stream on CysterWigs too. Thank you both.
Yes.
Apart from the good info on wigs, we love the banter and the drinks recipes. Drinks recipes coming up shortly. We felt a little sorry for Nigel that he is so far from his native goodies and stuck because of COVID. So since we here in the Great White North are a bit closer to the mothership than the Yanks, we have yummies from Cadbury readily available, and we thought we would send him some Mr. Big and Bounty bars. Okay, so they're the bite-sized ones to brighten the day. Naturally, they're for Heather too, but we know she does not eat too much of this stuff. Keep up the great videos and wigs. Regards, Kathy. Thank you, Kathy. Yes, and like I said, when I showed these, the Mr. Bigs, I've only ever seen these in England once, which is strange because they're a Cadbury product. They're a Cadbury product, but I've only seen them like once in Britain, but they're absolutely amazing. And as you can go back and see during the muted portion, they're full of creamy vanilla wafers and caramel and crispy, crunchy things, and they're absolutely bloody amazing. So, yes, thank you very much indeed, Kathy. This is very much appreciated. As are the bite-sized Bounty Bars. And being Canadian, it's got these great, it's got French written on it as well. Let me pick this one up since this one is not opened and will not have everything fall everywhere. Candy bar. Bar de friandises. Bar de friandises. What else we got here? Snack size. Format. Goûter. Taster format. Okay. Fantastic.
Isn't that any format when you want to taste it?
You could say that, yes.
I mean, I'm tasting it right now, and it's pretty delightful.
Oh, yeah. Here, I know.
I'm happy that I'm good. No, do not do that to me. Like, I'm trying to be good. Like, I actually was very good about my diet yesterday and the day before because I knew that we would be splurging today on this stuff. And yesterday I had a wrap from Trader Joe's, a vegan wrap. It was their hummus and beet wrap. It was quite good, but it was 2 separate meals for me because it's like 600 calories per. I know this is not the fun part, but I also ate a bunch of berries because Trader Joe's was running a sale on blueberries and strawberries, and they looked awesome. So I probably ate my own body weight in berry blend. It was amazing.
Good stuff, yeah.
But you know, I probably ate about 1,000 calories yesterday, knowing that today I was going to be eating like more than that. Carbs, you know, they're good.
All right. Helen says you can both be my family. Thank you, Helen. There's a great quote from the Republic Commando novels, which are based in Mandalorian culture. Family is more than bloodline. Yes.
Family of choice. Family of choice is super important.
Alit Orisha Taldin.
Absolutely.
Oyamanda.
Absolutely.
Let's see. No peanuts. I prefer walnuts. Yeah, I'm slightly allergic to nuts. I mean, I will not swell up and die, but if I have too much in a small amount of time, then it does affect my skin a bit. But
I like walnuts.
Oh, I love walnuts too.
Walnuts are really good. I like them in salads. I like them by themselves.
Oh yeah, just heaping handfuls of little brain-shaped bits of wood.
So good, and they're healthy.
Oh yeah.
Unless you are allergic to
They're very good for the liver.
Are they?
No, I'm quoting the Dick Tracy book. You like walnuts, big boy? I love them. Really good for the liver. Barbara says, I bet Michelle would love some holographic stickers. Anyone who uses a 4-color pen would, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, absolutely.
Very good point.
Yeah. No, she's delightful, and I might have to send her some stuff too, just because you know this is the second time in a row that she sent me something, and I feel like I'm slacking.
Yeah.
We gotta pay this forward.
I like this. Kathy said the ad tag used to say, when you are this big, they call you Mr. The length of my skull. Yes. That's a big size candy bar.
That sounds like it's meant to be naughty, like really naughty. Because British people cannot pass.
We're
up.
filthy.
Yeah,
yes.
You can't
absolutely
pass it up.
filthy.
Everything will like I swear your entire language and culture will devolve eventually into one big double entendre about boobs or wheelies. Wieners.
Heather, turn your mic back on.
I could use
I don't know if you can hear me, but I know how to use the word penis and vagina. But
whereas let me
but I like using the childlike words instead because somehow they're more perverse to me. Like wiener.
Meanwhile,
sounds naughtier.
Meanwhile, I can turn a simple greeting into something sleazy.
That's the English in you coming out, honey.
There.
Sploosh? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the deep voice does it for me. I can't lie about that. It's definitely a feature that I appreciate. So I think we should get to the party part of the
I think we should, yeah, because tonight's topic is vacation stories. And to get us into a vacation mood, it's cocktail of the week time.
Woo, get out of your way.
Cocktail of the week is called Respect Your Elders.
Wait, I was not expecting that. That's a good one. I like it.
All right. Let's bring this over here. Here we go. All right, this is a recipe that Heather developed. Okay. Have you got yours?
Yeah, I'm still drinking it.
You're still drinking it. Okay.
I'm working on it. I'm almost done.
All right. Here's what Respect Your Elders consists of. What you do is get your glass. You get a shot of St. Elder or any other elderflower flavored liqueur. All right. Shot of St. Elder. Then you add a shot of Tito's handmade vodka with its lovely metallic copper cap. Shot of that. Okay, and then you top it up with Trader Joe's lemon and elderflower soda.
And the soda is very good on its own. So if you don't want alcohol, I highly recommend just the soda if you are looking for something that's a little bit more teetotaler friendly.
Yeah, it's very refreshing on its own. And since we haven't got much in the way of the elderflower or the soda, I'm leaving the second one for Heather as well. But there you go. That is Respect Your Elders. And I'm going to put this away. Now, some of you astute people who notice things are saying, well, what's the rum for? The rum's for me.
The whole bottle?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, you blushed.
No. You're done with that class?
Yes.
Okay, give me that then.
Are we trading?
We're trading.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to put my rum in here.
Should I move?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to.
You go back there. I'm just going to...
I want to show everybody my shirt. I'm like, hey, look at my boobs. No, it's a doll leg, and he's very upset because he can't go up the stairs. Ah.
That is actually based on a Punch cartoon from 1983.
See, I've never heard of Punch. Is that like a British thing?
It's an old comedic satire magazine that's been around for like over 100 years. And then it's sort of packed up in like the early 2000s. But yeah, it's exactly that staircase. That staircase is taken exactly from that cartoon.
Look at my boobs. No.
And then it's got a bunch of little cartoons, Daleks at the bottom, and one of them is saying, well, this certainly buggers our plans for conquering the universe.
I wish that thought bubble said that.
Yeah.
That'd be funnier than him going grumble, grumble. This is more succinct, though. But for some reason, that's like, same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. You can do that voice, can't you?
What?
The Maurice LaMarche, same thing we do every night, Pinky.
Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. I gotta work on it, though.
It's pretty good, though. That's pretty good.
Well, I was once told by someone that I look like a young Orson Welles, so I've been trying to work on various Orson Welles impressions.
You'd need to shave your beard off to pull that off, though.
To look like a young Orson Welles, yeah, I'm looking like an older Orson Welles.
Honestly, though, he has like one of the big like pluses of having a round face, which he has. I don't. I have like a inverted triangle. Which you can almost see it if I point it out. If you ever wonder how people are like, I have this face shape. For me, it's like, Like I have this real pointy chin, like you can see the triangle basically. And with him, he has kind of like a round face shape, which means that like even if he like lost like 100 pounds and was like completely emaciated, he would still have, you know, this where he's equally wide as he is long, you know. And if he doesn't have an angular jaw, then I saw that. No, but if he's you know, because people ask about face shape all the time.
Sorry, no, it's just I'm trying to make sure your mic is on, my mic is off, because they were getting echoes when I was doing the bloody.
Oh, one of our mics has to be muted. Is it going to be mine? Is it going to be yours?
I will mute my mic.
Okay. Did you?
It is muted.
All right.
All right.
No, yeah, because that's why the echo's happening, because we both had mics on and we're not like lavalier people at this point, because we're like hamstrung a bit because of the laptops and their lack of ports on my end. But anyway, so I was saying something and then I completely forgot it because you put alcohol in me.
Face shapes.
Face shapes. Okay. So,
I listen to my wife.
You're a good husband, honey. So if he had an angular jaw and an angular hairline, he'd be square. He is so square. But no, he's got a round face shape. And round face shapes, they age so well. Selena Gomez is a really good example. She has a round face. And
she's in her 30s.
She looks
like she's
12.
Still 15.
Oh, she looks 12. She's going to age like a vampire because she has a round face shape. It has nothing to do with weight and everything to do with bone structure. And so he's the same way. He ages just beautifully. Like, there's almost not a wrinkle on him. And the only wrinkles
there is when I smile.
But those are sexy, honey, because they show that you smile. They show that you enjoy your life. Those aren't like ugly.
Well, yesterday after all that work out in the sun when we were getting the patio ready, I came in and thought, wow, I must have dehydrated, because I squinted and went into almost like Clint Eastwood territory.
You gotta wear the sunscreen. I'm still wearing sunscreen from where I sat under our little, we have a little pop-up gazebo in the backyard that we set up just to have a place to sit without a bunch of bugs hanging out. And you know, even though it's got kind of like an umbrella top on it, it doesn't filter all the UV, so I still wear sunscreen. I've got Neutrogena that SPF 50 on underneath my makeup right now. So you should give that a try, because it's not good to get that kind of direct sun exposure. It's Georgia. It's about to get very real down here. So
yeah, that's why I will be activating in our bed for the next 3 months.
That was the big word you just used. What does that mean?
Activating, it's like hibernating, only in the summer.
Is that a common word? Should I know that?
Well, I mean, if you're a biologist.
I'm not.
Okay, field biologist.
I sell wigs for a living.
Yeah.
Is it activating or eastivating?
Eastivating. A-E, letter ash. You know, A-E.
This is getting more complicated the longer you go about it. Okay.
Okay, you know how there's like an A and an E stuck together?
Yeah.
That's called the letter ash. So it's an ash-stivating.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what I've seen what you're talking about, and I've read a lot. But, you know, you can always tell when somebody's an autodidact and they learn most of the stuff from reading, because they don't know how to pronounce anything.
Yeah.
And so is that an A or an E or an E?
Well, it depends. If you're going with the International Phonetic Alphabet, ash is pronounced as in at.
Astivating.
Yeah, but that's only if you're doing the International Phonetic Alphabet. If you're just reading the word, it's eastivating.
Eastivating. Now, how would you know if the E comes after the A?
Because sometimes it's written with the A and the E not connected.
You people need to get your shit together.
Heather, it's based on Latin. Don't blame me.
I blame the Romans.
Yeah, but apart from roads, schools, system of laws, aqueducts, what have the Romans ever done for us?
Excellent Life of Brian callback.
Thank you, my
That was
patron.
excellent.
Yes.
You can't go wrong with that, really.
And no, I do not have a problem with vocal projection.
Neither one of us really do. We're both kind of built for opera.
There you go, Ash.
See, I know I've seen that before. It looks really cool, but I never knew how to pronounce it. And I even took like formal diction classes when I was an undergrad because I was a vocal music minor. And we spent most of that time just learning how to pronounce things in Italian. And that letter never came up. So interesting.
R.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have done an hour's worth of talking and have not talked about vacations once. Again, very on brand. So
Yeah.
I think we should lead in. Do you have any cool vacation stories, honey?
Well, let's see. Well, back when I was going through middle school, we had this program there where we could sign up to go for a camping trip in Colorado, because interestingly, where is it? Oh yeah, I definitely need sunscreen in Colorado, and that's why I put a picture of the Rockies in the thumbnail, because between 6th and 7th grade and 8th grade and graduation, I went to Colorado for 3-week camping trips and absolutely friggin' loved the place. Did whitewater rafting, camping, hiking. Didn't do much actual mountain climbing, but we went up mountains and camped out and saw the little pikas.
Ah, I want to see them because they look really annoying but cute.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with pikas, okay, imagine a cute little fluffy bunny, very fluffy, very cute, only with little mouse-shaped ears. That's a pika, and they're very territorial, and they sit on tops of their rocks, and they go, "Oh!" day and night. But they're friggin' adorable. They harvest greenery and store it away to keep them fed throughout the winter. But yeah, they are cute.
They're adorable. I've not seen them in person, but I saw the Animal Logic video on that.
They're about the size of a guinea pig-ish.
Oh, I like guinea pigs.
Like a mid-sized guinea pig.
I love guinea pigs, actually. I used to have guinea pigs when I was younger, and they're so cute. I love watching them eat. I like watching them popcorn. I don't know if you know what popcorn is, when guinea pigs get really excited, like when you bring out Carrot Tops and they get really excited about Carrot Tops, and they like basically spasm in midair. Wee, wee, because they're so happy that they just kind of like they like short circuit and jump, and just they're so freaking cute. And when we went to the Painton Zoo, they had an exhibit where they had cavies, which are guinea pigs, but like the wild version.
Pigs,
and they do the same thing that domestic guinea pigs do. Like if I would take my guinea pigs out when I was a little kid in the yard so they could graze on grass, like they would follow me in a single file line. And every once in a while they would just kind of stop and go, week, week, week. Oh, you're still behind me. Week. And they would just keep going. And it was the cutest thing. So I love guinea pigs. And if pikas, is that what they're called?
Pikas. If
pikas are like guinea pigs, then I would have a field day just watching them be really, really, really cute little round.
Aggressive.
Oh, that's not as
screaming.
Cute. Those are not as cute.
Well, they'll fight. They won't attack you, but they'll fight each other.
Because guinea pigs don't really scream so much. They just go week, week.
Yeah.
And they snort. And they purr sometimes. But when they purr, they're like upset about something. It's not like a good sign.
Yeah.
So I like guinea pigs.
But yeah. So Colorado trips, the 2 Colorado trips, went to all places, Steamboat Springs, hiked up Rabbit
Were there
Ears.
steamboats in Steamboat Springs?
No, it's called Steamboat Springs because they have a hot spring. They're on hot springs that steam like steamboats.
All right.
And you can go in and sit in the warm volcanically heated water, which smells vaguely of liquid egg fart. But it's great. It's great to bob around in because it's warm and it's fizzy and.
Oh, you've been in it.
Yeah.
Did you smell like egg fart afterwards?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That should be the travel brochure. Take a dip. You'll smell like egg farts afterwards.
But fantastic place. Yeah, got some good fudge there. Call back to the fudge mentioned earlier. Yeah, and yeah, just great stuff. Great. I really enjoyed it. And the other really impressive trip I took that I enjoyed was when after I graduated from high school, my father took me on a 3-week graduation present / learning experience with him to Guatemala, because he used to work for Goodyear, and he took me down to one of the plantations in the state of Retalhuleu, where Goodyear had these plantations. He was inspecting them, making sure the yield was up and this, that, and the other, administrative stuff. And tried ceviche for the first time.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, tried ceviche for the first time, and Guatemalan rum for the first time. And
How old are you?
18. It's the drinking age down there.
Yeah. And is that the drinking age in England, or is it 19?
No, it's 18.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, if you're gonna be able to go off and fight for your country, you should at least be able to drink.
Well,
Yeah.
I will toast to that. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, that was fun. Went up to Quetzaltenango and saw the statue of Tekun Uman, the emperor, and had the produce in Guatemala is fantastic. The coffee, the chocolate, the fruit, it's all fantastic. Chocolate coffee cake made with ingredients grown like 5 miles away. It's fantastic.
That sounds very good.
Oh yes.
That's so funny that here we charge an arm and a leg for farm to table food, but that's how most countries actually eat.
Yeah.
Like just normally.
The funniest moment from my trip to Guatemala was when we went to the cevicheria. Fantastic little place in Retalhuleu. And first off, there was a gecko on my seat.
Aw.
So I put him outside so he could hunt, and went wash my hands, came back. And at the time, there was a bit of a cholera scare. And it said, big banner in big banner in the restaurant said, "Our ceviche is cholera-free."
Is that where you learned how to be so bad at food marketing?
Yeah. And the second in command, whose name was I'm not making this up, Luis Carlos Boy, Senor Boy, that was his name.
Was it spelled
B-O-Y? Yeah.
Nice.
He said, he pointed out that sign. He said, that sign says our ceviche is cholera-free. If you want cholera, it's extra.
Senior Boy had a very good sense of
Shout
humor.
out to Senor Boy.
That's right. Oh man, you can't make this stuff up.
No.
I'm gonna have to eat this other piece of candy that I was objecting to earlier because it's sitting in front of me. But don't throw any more my way right away, because I need to eat like actual food at some point today.
Ah.
Ooh.
Helen, once upon a time, now spending time in room with Heather and Nigel live, celebrating his 61st birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Helen. Happy birthday to you. Hey!
Oh, I had to drop that like an octave. But that's all right. It's for Helen.
Yay.
That's right. Woo! All right. I'm gotta get into this thing, and it gets increasingly more difficult to navigate these wrappers as I drink more.
May says, I still have guinea pigs. They are bundles of happiness.
May! I love that about you, because we already have so much in common, and you have guinea pigs too. I love guinea pigs. They're like the cutest little things. They're so freaking cute. And they have such wonderful little personalities.
Shelley says, Italy in 2006. Picture it. Sicily, 1920. Tuscany. Went to Rome, Pisa, Florence, Siena, San Giacomo.
Sure.
Okay. Assisi, etc. Really awesome trip. The forum was cool. Pisa was disappointing.
I've heard that.
Like Papa John's, pizza is disappointing.
Well, I've heard that Pisa.
Joke.
Well, I get that. But I heard that Pisa is actually really underwhelming because there's so many people doing the exact same thing. And so when you go there, you're basically just visiting the people who are standing around the tower as opposed to seeing actual sights. I remember.
Oh no! Rabbit ears pass lost an ear. Ah.
What's that mean? Tell me.
Okay. Well, there's the Rabbit Ears is a mountain that looks kind of like a bit like a rabbit. Okay.
Yeah.
It's got 3 forks in it. Okay. It's got, okay, how can I put it like this? Okay, picture this. There's a mountaintop.
Picture this. Clark.
Sicily, 1920. Anyway, the top of the mountain has like a large squared off port at the top.
You're not on the screen showing this diagram.
Sorry. Okay, it's got
of
a large
vulgar hand
squared off,
gestures.
it's got a large squared off bit on one side, and then like a gap, and then two sort of rabbit ear like things on the other.
Got it.
And broke off. That's sad to hear.
Did you hear that Darwin's arch collapsed?
Yes, I heard.
Yeah, that's.
Whoops.
I would love to hear some other people's vacation stories before I tear into mine.
Okay, let's get into that. Trivia for y'all. Summer tourists in Michigan are called fudgies.
I love that. I've
That's
never
great.
heard that before, but it's great.
In Cornwall, they're called emmets, which is local for ants, because they swarm all over the place and get in your food.
That's clever.
Yeah.
Though I'm still kind of skeptical of it if you have to explain it like that. That is clever though. Any others?
Yeah, I'm trying to, but the problem is I keep losing my place here.
The software is not flawless.
Okay, here we go. Let's see. Jamie, hi Jamie, says one time the Hubs and I went on a cruise and he was nervous. I got an email the night before we left, but I didn't tell him. I told him when we got there, oh, by the way, the ship's propulsion is broken. Oh, pisser.
Oh man.
Absolute pisser. And by then it was too late to turn around.
Well, hey, the cruise ships can be a lot of fun on their own. So, I don't know, maybe there's like a casino or something on board. There's got to be like, I don't know, they usually do like line dancing and stuff, don't they? I don't know. I've never been on a cruise, but they look like they're a lot of fun just to be on the ship sometimes. So, like it's a giant playground.
Shauna says, I need more money to buy wigs from Heather. So many beautiful things to play with.
Thank you. I work diligently to make sure that this gets more difficult as time goes on.
Yeah, the rock formation fell a year or two ago.
Oh,
that's a
man.
shame. Glad I got to see it, though.
I mean, it could still be a rabbit with one ear, though. Maybe
Yeah.
it's like, rabbit.
Sounds like I'm a fudgy on vacation in Traverse City, Michigan.
I love Michigan. I grew up in Ohio, so Michigan and Ohio are similar enough to not, to have the rivalry. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like Cornwall and Devonshire. And speaking of Cornwall and Michigan, when Michigan was setting up its tin mining industry, they brought a bunch of Cornish people over to help them kickstart it.
Yeah.
So that's why you can get pasties in Michigan.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so
I want
cool.
to go to Michigan just so I can have a pasty.
But the Great Lakes area in the summer is spectacular. It's so beautiful. I mean, that's in Pennsylvania, New York, Wisconsin, any of those places that are on the Great Lakes. It's so beautiful in the summertime. And a nightmare in the winter. So I'm glad I live down south instead of getting that lake effect snow. Oof.
Oh, lake effect snow.
Oh.
I once told my my coworker and possible distant cousin Kevin about lake effect snow because he picked up an internet relationship with a girl in Ohio. That's something we Willis men do, I suppose. And
You met me first.
Yeah. But he said, any suggestions? Said, well, you're going over for Valentine's Day. Yeah. February? Yeah. Okay. Prepare for lake effect snow.
Yep.
So I told him, be prepared for possible temperatures dropping to several degrees below freezing and having 3 feet of snow overnight. He laughed.
Oh, no.
Then he went and experienced it.
Oh, no.
Twice.
Oh, God.
In a row.
Oh, no.
And he came back and said, you were right.
That's right. Well,
I thought you were exaggerating for comic effect, but you were right. And I said, yep. I don't exaggerate to make people laugh. I just tell the truth, and reality is funny.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God. Lake effect snow, if you haven't grown up with it, is intense. It is intense. And it's so wild because, the people on the other side of on Lake Erie, the other people in Canada on the other side of Lake Erie, they get lake effect snow, but it's not as drastic as what people on the southern border get because the wind kind of goes like that. Yeah.
So we blame Canada. That's all right though, because that also means you guys get credit for every snowman I've ever built and any snowball I've ever thrown. So it kind of
Every
goes both
school
ways.
day we've had off.
That's right.
Yeah.
We get to blame Canada for the snow days. So thank you.
Except if you went to Jackson High School.
They didn't do snow days over there.
No, here's the thing, that the Jackson school system was predicated on the idea that if the school superintendent could get to work, everyone had to go to work or school. He lived across the street from the office.
Aww.
So children were falling over at the bus stops and shattering, and we still had to go into school.
Did people egg his house? Because he sounds
I
like
hope so.
he's asking for an egging with that kind of stance, really.
Yeah.
Like, not that I would egg. I'm too much of a coward, and I'm not very coordinated, so I know I get caught. But just karma. I hope somebody probably thought to egg his house, because that's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got one here. Bettina says, we were driving back to Arkansas in Texas and got stitches for the first time. We got a flat tire, and I turned around and caught myself on the edge of a window at my eyebrow. Had to use one of my mom's mini pads until we got to the ER.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I can't even imagine putting a mini pad on your face and having to go to the hospital like that.
I was 14, no biggie.
I love it. And by the way, I love it every time your profile picture comes on the screen, Bettina, because you look so fun. Like, I know that we would get along instantly with that facial expression, because that's how I go through life a lot of the time. It's just, I love you. It's fantastic.
Let's see. Barbara says, best vacations were to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Disney World, a very close second. The Bahamas were more sad than fun.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's a shame. Did you see any hermit crabs, at least? Because those are adorable.
They were pretty cute. I know, Nigel, you want to talk about hermit crabs at all? I talked about guinea pigs. It'd be only fair.
Well, my first pets were hermit crabs because they were adorable. Some of my I didn't have any pets because we rented when we lived, and our landlord, because our neighbors in the duplex bought a Saint Bernard, and it completely spoiled all the carpets and floors in the place. The landlord had a no pets rule unless it's in a cage and is never removed. So
wow.
One day at school, there was a bring your pet to school day, and I'd never had pets before. And my classmate, I think it was Kerry, brought in her hermit crabs. And I thought, those are cool. So I asked for some hermit crabs. And for several years, I had hermit crabs as pets. And they're adorable, and they squeak at night.
They do?
Yeah, they make little squeaky noises at night. Very faint, sort of scratchy, squeaky noises.
That's really cute.
They are adorable.
Aww. I know this could be taken out of context very easily, but I actually like crabs. I think they're really cute.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't really like insects. Arthropods are not generally my thing, but I think the crabs in general look really cute, and the way that they act is really cute. Like, I like going to the beach and watching them kind of scuttle around and try to fight the waves. Like, the waves will come and then they'll pop up, and then the waves will go, and then they'll come back and then they'll go back down, and just watching them is really fun. So I think hermit crabs would probably be pretty cool to have, particularly if you have like fun shells for them and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about my coolest vacation, which would definitely have been when I was a student ambassador to Western Europe. And I couldn't really afford to go. So my grandma left it to me in her will that I would be able to go. So it was kind of like, thanks to my grandma that I got to do this. The same one from last night's live stream, somebody asked me, if I was always into makeup, and I was like, I had a grandma that always put makeup on. This was the same grandma. She loved me very much, and she wanted to make sure that I got to go to Europe because she always wanted to go and never had the opportunity because, they just never had the money, and she had kids, and times were different back then, and women were basically expected to be in the home. So my grandma was also kind of a suffragette, and she was a policewoman in her youth and stuff. She's a really cool person. And she made sure that I got to go because she always wanted to, and she never could. So she wanted to send me. So it was in her will. So she passed away, and I found out that she was going to be paying for me to go. So it's kind of a mixed bag, honestly, because when I went there, I was kind of like grieving because I was like, oh, my grandma, and I kept thinking of my grandma the whole time I was there.
But at the same time, I was like, she would have wanted me to have a lot of fun. So I'm going to try to do that. And I loved it. I got to go to Georgetown University for a short period of time. I mean, really short, just like a week. And I got to see how the university works and how the dorms work, which they were terrible. And I was super glad I never had to stay in a dorm long term because they basically stayed in bunk beds. Do you have the vapors, dear?
I have a touch of the vapors. I do declare.
Yeah, we had to turn the AC off for the live stream because it makes a lot of noise.
Yeah, it's like right above us, and if we have it on, it's.
I'm comfortable, so.
Yeah, you're comfortable. I'm slightly boiling.
Yeah. Well, if you need to take a break to cool off, let me know because I can hold things down.
No worries.
But basically, I loved it. We started off at Georgetown. We spent a week in Washington D.C. Then we went to England. We spent some time in London. Then we went to Bath and traveled around the entire southern western portion of the United Kingdom. And then I got to stay in Salisbury, Wiltshire, which is pretty close to not only Salisbury Cathedral, obviously, but also Stonehenge. So I got to see Stonehenge first from the roadway, which I thought was very peculiar. And then we actually toured it. And I got to stay with an Australian family. My homestay family when I was there was Australian and not English, which gave me exposure to two cultures and not one, which was a lot of fun. And then after that, I went to Paris. And then because we took a ferry across from Dover to Calais. And then I went to Paris. And then I got to spend time in the city that I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of, but it was Notre Dame de Bellecombe. And it was like this beautiful alpine village where you had to take like a little like sky gondola from one chalet to the next to get over the mountain. And it was almost like on the border between Italy and Switzerland and France. And apparently it's a very expensive area. I had no idea because I was super uncultured. And when I went there, I just thought it was delightful. And I knew a little bit of French, just enough. And I was willing to learn, which meant that most of the French kids in the program that had homestay kids actually preferred talking to me over most of the other American kids that went because they didn't want to speak any French and they had no interest in learning. And I was like, tell me what I need to know. I'll figure it out. I remember like really interesting conversations, like them telling me what cows sound like, which I still remember because cows in French don't go moo. And I remember very distinctly the going, no, moo, meh. And it's like, meh. And they would make a face, and I would have to make a face in order to make the sound, meh.
Well, that's because in French, a moo is one of these.
Oh yeah. I got a little scolding for doing that. But I also got to swim in a glacial lake. And I got to tour a glacier that had ice sculptures and stuff. I got to go to the Palace of Versailles. It was really cool. And the only real letdown of the whole trip, there was only one big letdown. And that was that we had the choice of going to, what was it? The Louvre. We had the choice of going to the Louvre or basically choosing our own adventure with one of the advisors. And I really wanted to see the graveyard where Rimbaud and Jim Morrison and a whole bunch of other really famous artists are buried.
Père Lachaise?
Yes, I really wanted to go there very badly. And I begged to go. And so we decided to basically go on a cross-city adventure on subways to get to this cemetery. And when we got there, they were closed. They closed at 4 p.m. in the summer. It was still broad daylight, and we couldn't get in. It was 4 in the afternoon. Oh, and I also wanted to tour the sewers, and the sewers were closed for some kind of renovation because I wanted to see the catacombs. I was kind of a morbid youth. I really wanted to see these things.
What do you mean, youth?
I know, right?
We still are.
Yeah, I know. I really wanted to see the catacombs.
Oh, dark poison of my heart.
I love you. I love you. It's so funny that you're saying this in this obnoxiously tie-dyed shirt. We are bad at playing to type, sincerely.
Well, I'm going with the vacation theme. You know, I got this
Vacation.
while I was on vacation. So,
Yes.
you know.
I immediately started singing the Bangles. But yeah, that was a wonderful vacation, and it was a real learning experience for me because, you know, I'm autistic, so I had a really interesting, subtle language barrier with the kids that went with me, right, in my cohort. Because, I mean, I got to tour the UN and all this stuff, and adults always loved me because I could always speak really formally with them. But the autism was a real barrier with my peers because they didn't understand it, and they didn't understand, you know, that I didn't understand their body language or their facial expressions. So they kind of like kept a distance from me because people kind of tend to be skeptical of things they don't understand. You know, it's human nature, whatever. But they would kind of distance themselves from me. I didn't experience that with the kids in England or the kids in France because they saw that I was very eager to hear about their lives and I wanted to learn from them. And it wasn't a matter of me trying to express my superiority or anything like that. It was about learning about who they were. And people tend to really like that regardless of their culture. And the fact that I wanted to learn about their culture made them like me. And it was very eye-opening that, you know, this thing that my peers did not really like was something that other people really, really, really liked. And it opened my eyes to the fact that, you know, I don't have to worry so much because, you know, there's, you know, Dita Von Teese said it really well because I'm going to butcher her quote, but she said, you know, you could be the juiciest, ripest peach in the world, but there's always going to be somebody who doesn't like peaches. And so, you know, I was like, wow, I found people who really like me because they know that I am interested in them and they know that I'm sincere and I'm earnestly very interested in this. And it was fun to learn about their cultures and to learn about who they were. And that was why I thought we were there, was to learn about these things. But it was really shocking in a weird way to see how many people who were in the group with me just didn't care. And they were just there for the vacation and not so much to learn. And I took it very seriously. Like, I'm a student ambassador. You know, I get to meet the translators who work for the UN and all this other stuff. And I took that very, very seriously, even though in hindsight, it was kind of like a minor thing. So if you hear of anybody getting accepted into the People to People program and you hear people being skeptical about whether or not it's real. And I highly recommend that if a student is nominated by a teacher to participate in that program, that you try to help them go, because it was really a wonderful thing for me in my life. And I loved it. I loved it. It made a huge difference in my life because I was a lot less depressed when I got home. Not only because I was like, my grandma loved me enough to give me this experience. And that's really special. And that's something to focus on opposed to just the loss, right? But it also gave me this exposure to other people and realizing that, you know, just because people from Ohio were not as, and who were like 13, 14 years old, were not really into hearing about anything to do with me and didn't really want to talk to me. And for my opinion, didn't really have anything very interesting to say. People who were genuinely interesting thought I was interesting too. And we could be interesting together. And that was really cool. So sorry to kind of like hog the mic there for a moment, but
what?
That's such a fun.
You're talking about one of your favorite vacations.
It
That's
was
the topic
awesome
of the day.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, when I drink, I get self-conscious, so my apologies.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Let's see if we got any more stories. I'd love to
yeah.
hear.
See, Shelley says Pisa is very small and all the buildings are very close together. Very underwhelming. It's all tucked behind a fence.
Oh, no. Why?
See, we've got here, I have a photo of my dad from 1953 in Pisa. He's leaning parallel, not perpendicular, to the tower. No one else around. Well, that's when you go there shortly after a world war when there aren't as many people aren't as many people traveling.
Yeah, but plus
well, that sounds cool. That sounds cool.
And at least his pose is novel, and
yes.
I appreciate that.
Yes. Jamie, where did Jamie say here? Following up on something. Oh, talking about the cruise that was too late to turn around.
Oh.
It was still fun, but we only got to one destination.
At
least you got to travel a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what else we got here.
Janet says, for 39 years, I've been a flight attendant. My job is a paid vacation. Just got in from Narita, Japan, off to Reno tomorrow. Always something fun.
That's so cool.
That does sound like a very interesting job. Having worked in customer service and dealt with drunks in the casino, I don't think I could stomach that part of the job. But get me on a plane. I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
That sounds wonderful, though.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen pictures of Narita, and it does look like a very beautiful place to see, especially in the spring.
Do they have a lot of cherry blossoms?
It's Japan. They have cherry blossoms everywhere.
They're so pretty. They're so pretty.
Oh, Shelley says, very sad when old man in mountain in New Hampshire fell. Glad I got to see it years before.
Oh, another case of nature destroying nature. Oh, back in the winter storms of 2010, we had some very, very vicious winter storms in Britain in 2010, and I think 2014 as well. The entire coastal railway was washed out at Dawlish. Like the ground washed away under the railway, so that the tracks were just sort of hanging in midair over the crashing surf.
Nobody was hurt, right?
No. They caught it in time, and it was just very disruptive until they fixed it. But yeah, I mean the storms were so bad it changed the coastline. Stone arches collapsed. There was a giant boulder. I forget where. It's like a boulder about the size of a castle that split because of these storms. And
these must have been heck of a storm.
Oh,
just
horrendous. I mean, those were the ones, part of the ones that weren't even the ones that led to the cliff at Babacom collapsing.
That is still kind of striking. The fact that the whole cliff is kind of barren and you can see where the house used to be.
Yeah, and you can see bits of the house further down the cliff. Yeah, fantastic.
That's not fantastic.
No.
Unless we're using the old-timey sense of the word. Yeah.
You know me. I'm archaic.
Yeah.
Barbara says Traverse City. They don't pronounce it like Traverse. Okay, duly noted. I'll try to remember that. Let's see.
That's just it. You mispronounced it. That means you're self-taught. So
no, I was just reading it.
Oh, you are not good at pronouncing things. Yay.
I'm trying. I don't know what they mean, so I just pronounce them. I think there should be a CysterWigs cruise. I like your thinking, Kim.
Wigs in every room a different wig.
It's difficult to be professional when there are shenanigans afoot.
So many shenanigans.
Michigan ain't for sissies, lol, not in February. I can imagine that.
Ohio is much the same way. I used to work at an advertising agency adjacent to Cleveland-ish. And oh man, I remember the first time we had a heavy snow, it was while I was at work. And it took me 4 hours to drive home.
I had something similar. I was coming off for Christmas or Thanksgiving. I think it was Christmas vacation from Kent State University, and I was driving back down to North Canton. It's not that far.
Yeah.
Normally it takes like a half hour, 45 minutes. I got onto the road. I started leaving the campus just as the snow was starting. And by the time I got to the I-76 on-ramp from Route 43, there was enough accumulated snow on there to make me do a donut on the on-ramp. So just, oh shit, I'm pointing the wrong direction. So
I've had that happen too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, when I was driving to work,
yeah,
I was on Route 30, which goes like through Massillon and Worcester and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting on the on-ramp from 43 to 30. And I was accelerating, and all of a sudden, my car just, in broad daylight, this is daytime, not nighttime, my car just decided, we're gonna go sideways a couple times.
Yeah.
So the car just went whoo, whoo, whoo. And this is like a three-lane highway. My car went woo, 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 all the way across the highway. I'm very lucky that no one hit me.
Yeah.
And when my car finally stopped, I was facing the wrong direction. I had stopped in the berm right before going off of a giant hill. Ohio, the
Yeah.
heart of it all. Oh my God, it was terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
But
Well-
yeah, I don't miss the lake effect snow or the black ice at all.
No.
Not even a little.
No.
Oof.
But yeah, it took normally like a 40-minute drive. It took me like nearly 2 hours to get back because, like I said, did donuts on the on-ramp and then decided I'm going slow.
Yeah.
So before I hit, say, like the Cuyahoga Falls area, it started to go dark, and then it was blizzarding and foggy. So there I was.
Probably all within the span of like 10 minutes because it's Ohio.
Yeah. Occasionally, going off the edge of the road and going, and steering back on because, road construction and, not very well marked and snow and fog and hyperspace effect. Yeah. It was it was a thing.
Yeah, I can imagine your friend not realizing that when you tell them stories about how it can start the day at 30 degrees and end the day at 70, that's not an exaggeration. That's Ohio.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure Michigan is very similar because those lakes are huge and they make a huge mess of the weather patterns around those areas.
December 7th, okay? The week before, it was absolutely like waist deep in snow. December 7th, 1998, it went up to 70 degrees to the point where most of it melted. And my buddies Carl and Wildman and I
Wildman?
went out. Yeah.
That sounds like a book character.
You know him.
Yeah.
But
do I?
Yeah. Huh?
Do I?
Yeah, you've met him.
All right.
But yeah, we went out looking for Star Wars figures in our shorts in December.
That sounds very Ohio.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if we got any more comments coming in. I would
Yeah.
love to hear them.
I just packed up my winter clothes. I'm waiting to take them to storage. Don't need any May snowstorm. Yes, exactly. CysterWigs cruise. I'll pre-order that.
A wig in every room. That should be the tagline. Woo!
I grew up in Western New York. Lots of lake effect snow. I believe it. I've heard of Buffalo.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Shelley says Riverwalk in San Antonio is wonderful, and Natural Bridge Caverns is there worth the trip. Best caverns I've been to. How are they for bats? We like bats.
Oh, there are lots of bats in Texas.
yeah.
I'm so mad at myself that the only time I've ever been to San Antonio was when I was recovering from gastric sleeve surgery, so I didn't get to go anywhere. I was like, dang it, I really want to go to the Alamo. There are all these places I want to go, and I just felt too sick to do anything. It was a struggle just to get through the airport. But I would absolutely love to go back just to explore some of that stuff.
Sorry, I just had a flashback to Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah. Pray elucidate, dear.
Well, he gets knocked out and said, "What's the matter, pal? Do you remember anything?" He says, "I remember the Alamo." And everyone goes, "Yeah!" Had roads closed yesterday in Colorado due to snow.
Do you live on a mountaintop? Or is this like a normal thing that I should be aware of to scare me away from Colorado? Because I'm not a big fan of snow.
Walking barefoot through the snow, uphill both ways. Yes, definitely.
Is that like a Canadian pastime, Kathy?
Luxury. When I were a lad, our dad used to get us up at 10 o'clock at night, half an hour before we went to bed. We'd eat a lump of cold poison, work 26 hours a day down mill, and pay mill owner permission to do so. And when we got home, our dad would kill us and dance about on our grave singing hallelujah. And you try telling the children of today that, they won't believe you.
Your Michael Palin is impressive, dear.
I watched that sketch.
That's so good. It's so spot on.
Andy says we didn't have many snow days, even with the lake effect snow. Now in Virginia, they close schools at the drop of a hat. Yeah, same here.
Oh,
Same here in Georgia.
yeah, when I went to school in Ohio, I remember very distinctly sitting outside waiting for the bus, like up to my knees in snow, going, "Are you kidding me?" And you can't even see the road. It's just white.
Yeah.
It's theoretically there.
Yeah.
You would only know it due to muscle memory.
Yeah.
And yet we still had to go to I almost said go to snow. Go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
let's
fun.
see.
No fun.
No. Kristen says, I'm guessing that's Mimo
Yeah.
is so nice and so very interesting. Love what she does.
She is
Wonderful
really super
lady.
nice.
Wonderful
super
lady.
nice. Like, I appreciate anybody that is in this particular. The beauty industry can be weird. Like, there are people who are really intense about it, and they kind of bring like this boss babe energy into it that is kind of like MLM-y, you know, like hun body, which is a little intense.
Mm.
And then there are people like me that are just like socially inept, whatever.
Mm.
It is
Same
what
here.
it is what it is, right?
I don't care. I'm fairly chill. If people have a problem with that, or if I upset someone because they're too high strung, well, you know, I don't intend to it. Well, mostly don't intend to offend anyone. Sometimes, believe me, if I intend to offend, you will know.
Yeah, you know what though, honey? I'm high strung and you don't offend me.
Mm.
I think you're totally cute and necky.
Yeah, but you know I'm on your side.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is though, you're a decent person. And I know
Well, I
that
try to
about
be.
you. Yeah, totally. But that's the other thing. Like Michelle at Mimo Wigs is genuinely super sweet. Like every single bit of correspondence I've ever had with her has been incredibly nice. She's so nice, and she knows that I'm totally happy to play around with all these lashes she sent me. So I will be probably plugging her quite a bit. I will make sure I let you know that, you know, she sent me these things.
Mm-hmm.
But I need the practice, so I'm totally happy to have more lashes to play with because I'm absolute rubbish at putting on fake lashes. I'm willing to admit that. But, you know, practice makes perfect. I will show you my trials and errors until I get it right, and then I'll share that with you too.
Mm-hmm.
But she is just so incredibly sweet.
Yes,
And I
like,
really
love her.
that's the thing. Like, I just mentioned two different kinds of groups that generally are in the wig industry, but then there's this other category of like super women, you know, or like supermen. I don't want to discriminate. Super people who are in this genuinely to help people. They want to keep things kind of small because they like to get to know people kind of intimately. I'd like to identify in that way, but you know, she's definitely in that category. She's super, super sweet. And like every time I've ever interacted with her, it's just like she positivity infuses the conversation in a way that's very sincere and makes you feel like very uplifted afterwards. I love that. I like it when people don't use positivity as a weapon. It's very cool when it's real. You know what I mean? And she's very real, and I appreciate that.
Definitely. Bettina says, I still want to see Pompeii.
Same, 100% yes.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that. We just watched a documentary about the last days of Pompeii, featuring the butler from Downton Abbey.
Was he in there?
Yeah, he played the senator, the Senate candidate.
I swear the BBC used the same people for everything.
I know, that's why it's very hard to break in there. You get like the same 12 people doing all the bloody roles. Not that I'm bitter. Anyway.
You just need to be part of that club, honey. That's all.
All right, I'm saying right now, I wanted to be Baron Greenback for the new Danger Mouse. And now Stiletto to rule the world.
Alexander Armstrong does an amazing Danger Mouse.
He does a very good Danger Mouse.
Yeah,
yes.
he does.
But yeah, my friend Alex, who I worked with, you met Alex down at the seafront.
Yeah.
He brought me back a rock from Pompeii, from Vesuvius itself. I've got that
Wow.
in my collection somewhere.
Oh, wow. I would love to see that, though. It's so morbid, but that's right up my alley, Bettina. If you ever go, we should try to go together. That'd be super cool.
Definitely. Oh, 2022 vacation bucket list, Alaska. Yeah, we want to get up there to see the Northern Lights.
Bring your bug spray.
Bug spray, yeah. Oh, no. Hey, here's something for the Canadian folks. Yeah, I know about the Black Fly song. Yeah.
He actually knows a lot of Canadian folk songs.
Oh, yeah.
For the record, for Kathy and all of our other Canadian
North
friends.
Ontario, North Ontario.
He sings a lot of Canadian folk songs around the house.
Wade Hemsworth, the man.
Like, I've heard so many songs about lumberjacks. So many songs.
Or he goes burling down the white water. That's where the log driver learns to step lightly. It's burling down and down the white water. The log driver's waltz pleases girls completely.
Yeah.
Kathleen says she's had that lemon elderflower.
It's
very
beautiful
good.
all on its own.
Bettina almost did a semester in Florence in the 90s.
Mm.
That sounds fantastic. Yeah. Let's see. My dad was the best to go on trips with. He never met a stranger. The second day we're at Disney, I go down to the pool and the girl working at the pool bar yells to me, "Hey, where's your dad?"
He sounds like a charming guy.
Almost got to work in Japan. You got a lot of almost, Bettina. I love hearing almost stories.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what were the possibilities?
Yeah, I almost got a degree in artificial intelligence. It still counts. The opportunity was there. I just chose not to.
Oh. Janet says, I've been to Paris during COVID. It was the most surreal experience. No tourists, actually almost no one anywhere. I will never forget it. And Nigel, not after a war.
Wow. And were the tourist attractions still open? Were you able to go visit things? Because that would be pretty sweet to not have to deal with all the tourists or the pickpockets.
Yeah.
Because that's something that they teach you right away when you go on a trip with a group, is like, don't stop moving underneath the Eiffel Tower to look at the tower. Just keep moving and don't talk to anybody who approaches you because they're trying to pick your pockets.
Well, Hannibal Lecter has a very good way of dealing with that in the movie Hannibal.
Something tells me this is not something most people should do.
No, but it's effective. Stiletto to the femoral artery.
That sounds messy.
It was, but effective.
Yeah.
Bettina says Bodega Bay has spots where the cliffs have collapsed. Oh, that's interesting. Jamie says, I lived in North Dakota and they picked up snow in trucks and put it in empty fields so we could drive around town. I was horrified. Oh man, that sounds weird.
That's got to be like a mountain of snow if they're all dumping the snow in the same places. Oh.
Kathy says, coming back from a cruise in 2019, we got stuck in Chicago because of lightning and all. Most hotels around the airport were full, so we spent the night on cots in the airport. They woke us up at 5 a.m. Oh, that reminds me of the time in 2006, I want to say. I was coming over to visit people in Ohio, and get your beautiful face back on screen. Somehow I managed to get my travel agent, because I wasn't booking my own flights at the time, decided to book me into flying into Dulles Airport in DC, and then only have like 2 hours between my plane landing and my connecting flight leaving for Cleveland. So naturally, I missed it.
Ah.
So I had to spend overnight in the airport, didn't get any cots or anything, just, sleeping on hard benches and all that on top of my luggage so people didn't nick it.
That sounds awful. That sounds like an awful way to spend the night.
It's funny you should say this, Shelley. Hershey, Pennsylvania is also interesting. Best part was the rose garden. They used chocolate shells for mulch, and so all you smell is roses and chocolate.
That's genius.
Where's the Turkish Delight.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's genius.
Yeah, I went to Hershey briefly with the Nortons. Warren drove me around there and showed me all
one of his college professors.
One of my college professors, still friends with him, and his good lady wife, and drove me around Hershey for a bit. Because we went driving. I visited them in Pennsylvania for a few days, and they drove me around various interesting places, including Hershey, and saw the Hershey's Kiss street lights and everything. Didn't go in any of the shops because I was trying to diet. Let's see.
Oh, Janet says she got to look at the Louvre practically alone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that sounds like a dream come true, actually.
I lost my space.
Kristen says they load up snows in town here in Northeast Pennsylvania just to move it out of the way. Again, that sounds like a recipe for a gigantic mountain of snow. So, those are intimidating.
Oh, crunch. Same thing happened to me in Dulles. I made it to 1 a.m. and called Hubs. He drove 2 hours to pick me up. Bloody hellfire. Oh, I think the takeaway message here is avoid Dulles.
Yeah. I mean, the Atlanta airport is pretty good. They're pretty good, and I usually try to fly through them as a hub, not just because they're local, but because they're pretty high tech and prompt, which I appreciate. Trying to think. Another vacation that I went on that I really enjoyed was it was actually literally an intentional layover. I delayed my trip back home after visiting him for like 3 days so I could visit Puerto Rico. This is before Hurricane Katrina, and it was beautiful. I really enjoyed Puerto Rico. I enjoyed the food. I enjoyed the people. The beaches are gorgeous.
Froggies?
Old San Juan, the little loud, crazy frogs that are down there. They're so loud. They sound like car alarms. They're so loud. But apparently the locals think that that's like music to their ears. They're cute little frogs. They're just really noisy relative to their size. And I had one like right outside the window of my hotel room the whole time. Good times. But yeah, I really enjoyed walking around Old San Juan. I thought it was gorgeous. The blue streets were something I had never seen before. I thought it was really beautiful. And I'm kind of interested to go back just to see, how well they've recovered from things. But I really liked that a lot. But I mentioned the food. The food was phenomenal. Visiting you has always been fun, but we've talked about that in separate video installments.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think. I used to drive up to Canada on almost like a weekly basis when I first got my driver's license, because this was when we didn't need a passport to cross the border. And I would literally drive all the way through I-90 to get to Niagara Falls. And I would hang out on the Canadian side of the falls like almost every weekend. And I loved the Canadians. I didn't necessarily love the tourist trap nature of Niagara Falls, because once you get through the tourist trap attractions, but the people there were very cool. And I remember one time going there and doing karaoke and meeting like a whole bunch of people. That's one story. I've got another one that's a little bit more risque. Maybe I'll tell that another day, but it's genuinely pretty risque. I should just go ahead and tell it because we're talking about vacation stories now.
Let me
I should just tell it.
Get the rum.
I probably need another drink too to really make this work.
Okay. There should be some more of this chill.
Yeah. So this story involves adult themes. So just so you know, I'm very straight edge. I know that that's probably not coming across because I'm drinking alcohol while I do this live stream with my husband. But I'm pretty vanilla in a lot of ways. I'm like pretty boring. And that's okay by me, because whatever, shenanigans. I like to avoid them unless they're deliberate, whatever. But anyway, the first time that I went there for a weekend to hang out, it was literally, I was hanging out at, okay, this is a long story. I'll try to make it short. I was hanging out at Denny's and I was a teenager. I was like 17, hanging out with like a bunch of the goth kids at Denny's. Some people on the table behind me mentioned that they were driving up to Niagara Falls. And I was like, I haven't been to Niagara Falls since I was a kid. I would love to join you. And they were like, really? Well, we have an open seat. Would you like to come? I was like, yes, I would. So we went up to Niagara Falls together. I mean, literally we left from Denny's to go to Niagara Falls. So I didn't have a bag with me or anything. I figured if I needed anything, I'd just get it when I was there. And so we went up to Niagara Falls, and apparently everybody else that was in this little caravan, they were over the age of 19. I was not. I was 18, so I could not get into the casinos or anything like that. So I was stuck in the hotel room by myself while everybody went to the casinos to gamble and drink. And that was boring. And all of a sudden I hear all this noise going on in the hotel room above us. So I leave the hotel room, I look up, and on the floor above us, because it's like one of those horseshoe shaped motel rooms, right? Where you can see on the terrace what's going on above you. I could see that there was a whole bunch of kids around my age who were just having a party. So I grabbed some CDs because this was back, thank you, honey. This was back when CDs were still a thing. And I said, hey guys, can I join your party? I'm American and I don't belong here, but I would love to hang out with you because my friends are all at the casino and I can't go. And they were all roughly my age. They were like 17, 18 years old, and they were having a party because they just finished having their prom. So without knowing it, I had crashed a prom party. Yeah. And these kids were all dressed up. And all the CDs I brought were completely inappropriate because I'm an Aspie and I didn't know better. I brought a bunch of goth stuff. I brought like the Cure and all this stuff, and they were totally all about it. They put it on. This is back when like Britney Spears was the big thing, and they put on the Cure just because I brought it. And they kept making me drinks. And I mean, in hindsight, it was a really dangerous situation. I probably would not have done it again. But when I was that age, I was like, whatever. These Canadian kids are awesome. Well, I started to realize that the screwdrivers they were making me were a little bit too strong, and I kept asking for something to eat, or I would have to go back to my hotel room. So they presented, this is really a risque story. I had never, ever smoked pot before or anything like that. And these kids gave me a plate of cookies, foreshadowing. And I was like, okay, well, I need to really soak up this alcohol because I can't really drink this. And I ate some of the cookies without realizing that these were pot cookies. Having never, ever, ever, ever used anything like that before in my life, I accidentally ingested kind of a mega dose of the stuff. And when the guy came back to check on me after giving me this plate of cookies, his eyes got huge, like, did you eat all of those? And I was like, well, yeah, they were chocolate chip. They were really good. And I was frankly a little bit too tipsy to realize what I was eating or that it tasted funny. And I got really, 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 really stoned. Having never actually had the stuff before, I had no idea how to handle it.
Did you get a case of the muckin' funchies?
Oh, I did, but that comes later. I will say that the Canadian kids took care of me. I think they felt kind of bad because I had no idea what the heck I was doing. And I think they knew it, and they were very sweet about it. They were very protective, and they were very, very cool about the whole thing. And I want to throw that out there. It gave me mad respect for Canadian people right off the bat, because, you know, if these were kids from my own high school, they probably would have like made a lot of jokes at my expense and stuff like that, but that didn't happen. They were very, very sweet. And we ended up going on this odyssey where we went to all these different hotels all over Niagara Falls. I had no intention, by the way, of telling the story. You can tell I've had 2 of these drinks already, because this is a story that is
working on a third.
Definitely not like super professional at all. But
oh my God. So
I know, really, I'm a human being. So we went, I've had fun in my life. So we went to all these different hotel rooms, all these hotel complexes, really, all over Niagara Falls. And I remember very distinctly that at one point, and this is kind of surreal even now, and I wish I could make it like a movie, because at one point, I remember being at this place called like the Triple H Hotel or something like that. And it was another one of those horseshoe-shaped hotels where there's like the parking lot is in the center and the hotel kind of wraps around it. And I remember very distinctly standing in the parking lot and just standing there. Like, I wasn't breaking any laws or like jumping on things. I was literally just standing there watching all these teenagers jump on cars and climb up trellises and talk to each other and do all kinds of shenanigans. And it was literally like in slow motion. I'm just standing there like, wow, what is going on? Why are they doing all this stuff? But still not really leaving, you know, because I didn't want to be alone in this state. And all of a sudden, the cops come, the Canadian cops, and they block up the entrance to this hotel. And I'm like, huh, isn't that interesting? Because I have no idea what's going on. I'm like Towley. Like, I have no idea what's going on, man. Like, literally, it was like that. And, you know, I don't feel bad about it in hindsight, because I didn't do it on purpose. It was like, just, it happened. And, you know, I never duplicated the experience, which shows you, you know, that I learned from it. But like, it was very surreal. And all of a sudden I remember some of these Canadian kids grabbing my arm and going, Heather, come here, come here, come here. And the next thing I know, they are hoisting my big American butt over a fence. And we ran across the field. I mean, I say ran, but I probably just kind of like walked bewilderedly across the field, looking back at me going, huh, isn't that weird? And I just kept walking. And then we went to a hotel. We got Whoppers. We ate Whoppers, like as in the Burger King food. And you asked if we got the
Poutine.
the muck and fun cheese. They didn't have poutine at that Burger King, if I can recall. We had I had onion rings and a Whopper. And then I sat there watching cartoons. We watched cartoons until I sobered up in somebody's hotel room. Just, I don't know who it was, but it was a very nice Canadian person. And who was just very sweet. And then I walked back to my hotel room. And the people that I went with were like, where were you all night? And I was like, I went on an adventure. And then I had that whole story to tell. Thank God it was before the era of cell phones, or else there would have been photographs of the whole thing, and I'd probably be embarrassed of them all, because the whole time I probably had this facial expression. Huh. Like, seriously, because I was not prepared for any of that at all. And I'm glad that I'm not a teenager anymore, because I probably would end up getting myself in trouble. But I lucked out that night because the people in Canada were lovely.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I had a few good trips to Canada, and I went up to Niagara Falls and a couple other places, and Kelly's Island and the lakes and the islands in the lakes and so forth. That was very good.
Do we have any stories?
Oh yes. Where is it? Helen says, Alaska Cruise, CysterWigs fashion show, demos of styling, resizing, Nigel drink demos in Northern Lights.
It's a plan. We should do
You
that.
are a genius, Helen. Former coworker took a cruise to Alaska. His in-laws paid for it. That sounds
That's
amazing.
awesome.
How do I get those in-laws?
Right?
Becca says, we are moving to Brussels 6th June, first time in Europe.
That's amazing. You're moving there?
Bon voyage.
That's so cool. That's so incredibly cool.
That's where they invented French fries.
Ooh, I bet they're good there.
And milk chocolate. Yeah,
It's gotta
seriously,
be a good
Belgium.
place.
Belgium, that's where they invented fries and milk chocolate. So,
Sounds like an upgrade.
Trappist ale. Boy, you're in for a food treat. I'm telling you, Becca. Got a job offer to go to Okinawa. My husband was too scared to go. Almost got to work in Japan.
Wow.
Oh, a lot of almost stories.
Okay, sometimes you just got to do what's right. And sometimes moving to another place, especially if you don't speak the language, that's really intimidating. For sure.
I covered that one about how horrible Dulles is. Oh, wow, we've got avalanches.
Yeah. Give it to me.
All right, let me see here. I've just lost it. Okay, where are we here? Watch out for large Marge. Yes, very good point. Where are we here? Shoo. Oh, I've lost my place completely.
Just pick a place, honey.
All right. I live in Canada. I border to Michigan. There's nothing like living on the lake in the summer. We put up with snow for our gorgeous summers. I love my USA family, cross-border shopping, and friends. Ali Torisha Taldin.
That's right.
Indeed. Oh, fantastic. Cheryl says, millions of bats leave at sunset from under a bridge in Austin. It's a thing to gather to watch. Yes, we want to do that.
We should put that on the bucket list.
Bats. We love bats.
Yeah.
Bats are fantastic.
They eat bugs. I appreciate that.
And I'll say this right now. There's a guy called the Batman of Mexico, who's an ecologist who loves and looks after bats. He goes around teaching people, don't kill bats because they eat all the pests that eat your crops, and they pollinate agave so you can have tequila. So basically, bats are responsible for us having tacos and tequila. And if I can't think of a better reason to preserve any species, quite frankly.
They're novel. I appreciate that about them.
I love
they're
them.
mammals that fly.
Yeah. I mean, if there's no other reason to appreciate bats, it's tacos and tequila. But
we like those things.
We appreciate them for every single thing about them. They're tiny little flitter fluffs. They're adorable.
Have I told you he is so cute when he sees bats? He goes, "Oh, little flutterflies." He says he just goes crazy with them. He's so cute.
Oh, but they're adorable.
You're adorable. When you see bats, you're super cute.
Love, Nemo. The two of you helped me get over my wig anxiety. That's great to hear.
I hope that she watches this so she can see those sorts of comments. Because lots of love for Michelle over there.
Great skiing in Steamboat Springs. Yeah, well, there are things I will not do because of I don't generally believe in luck unless it's bad. And I guarantee you, if I strapped some things to my feet and tried to hurtle down a mountain, things would go very, very wrong for me.
Ooh, I would not even try it. I've never been good at dancing.
Clumsy.
No, I would kill myself probably. You know, I'd put a heroic effort in, so I'd probably die spectacularly in this kind of configuration. I see that Catherine says, "I'm so glad the Canadian kids took care of you, Heather." I am glad too. In hindsight, like, I'm mortified. Now that I'm basically like my mom's age, you know what I mean? Looking back on that kind of story, I'm like, oh my God, why? Why did I? That's so dumb. But back then I was like, adventure.
Yeah.
Teenager, you know? But
Kathy, sorry, my sweet.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Kathy picked up on my Little Black Fly song by Wade Hemsworth.
Oh, yeah.
Of course you would.
Seriously, when we do karaoke once in a while, we have a little karaoke machine in the house. We broke it out for like the Christmas show we did. And when we do karaoke, he always does at least a couple Canadian folk songs, like literally every time.
Iceland, New Zealand, Scotland, England, and Ireland would be my vacay bucket list if I felt well enough to travel. Oh, that sounds like a hoot. I've been to Ireland. I can recommend a couple places. I can recommend lots of places in England.
I'd like to see Iceland.
I'd like to see Iceland, definitely.
In the summer.
In the summer. Yeah. Definitely visit New Zealand because I've got relatives there.
Oh.
My cousin Claire.
Oh, yeah. That works for Weta?
Who works for Weta.
Weta.
Yeah. The Peter Jackson company. Yeah. She did a lot of the computer stuff for Lord of the Rings and King Kong and various other movies got subcontracted out to. Stuff like that. Yeah. And Iceland, yeah, definitely. I haven't been to Scotland. Want to go to Scotland to visit Mimo.
Yeah, definitely.
Loch Ness. Get a picture of Heather standing out in a field of Heather.
Look, it's thematic.
There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales. My dad could recite that from memory. Oh, fantastic. Right. I think I got to where I was picking up. Yeah, okay, I found it. I found where I left off. Okay, I think. Oh, wow, I just keep going all over the place.
Just pick something.
I'm sorry, I'm trying. These things keep skipping around. Bettina says Atlanta is nice. I had a layover there back in the 1980s. That's where we fly out and into from now.
Yeah, it's the Delta hub.
Yeah, that's good. We went to the World of Coca-Cola. That was nifty. Got to try some fantastic around-the-world sodas, which I don't understand why they don't sell here.
Except for Beverly. They should not sell Beverly here.
Beverly is one of those things that you try so you can say you tried it and then never touch again.
I bring my friends to I can't drink carbonated stuff. Even with this thing, we have to like stir it to the point where there's almost no carbonation in it so I can drink it. But yeah, I still feel compelled to bring people to the world of Coca-Cola every time they come to visit me here in Athens. And every single time I take a friend to the world of Coca-Cola, they all go, "What is this Beverly stuff?" They all hate it.
Well, it's supposed to be a herbal digestive, I think. But no, it's one of those things. If you have it with alcohol, it's basically chartreuse.
I would not want to ruin alcohol with this stuff. Really.
No, seriously, Heather. I mean, chartreuse is like 45% alcohol, and it tastes like that. If it's alcoholic, you can tolerate it because alcohol.
Yeah.
But if you're not having alcoholic, why am I drinking this if it's not going to give me any sort of buzz whatsoever?
It's so gross.
But
Oh,
Then you could go to the Madagascar section and have anglaise,
Oh,
which
that's
is a
good.
custard
the
flavored
creme
soda.
anglaise soda that Coca-Cola makes. They need to sell that here in the States. It is so good.
And then you go to Central and South America, and they have 2 different flavors of Guaraná soda, including Inca Cola.
That one's really good too.
Oh, yes. And what's the other one? Kuat. I remember that one because Kuat is also the name of the engineering collective that designs AT-ATs for the Empire. Kuat Drive Yards. Cheryl says, visited Puerto Rico in 1975. Pina coladas from pineapple and coconut trees from out back. Oh!
That sounds awesome.
That sounds bloody amazing. Let's see what we got here.
I would like to go to Jamaica just to try properly cooked ackee fruit. Is that what it's called? Ackee?
Ackee and saltfish. Oh,
I would like to try that.
We had a fantastic takeaway done by where is oh Christ, Guyana. We had a takeaway that was run by a lady from Guyana, and she did all sorts of Caribbean stuff, ackee and saltfish and stuff like that. It's absolutely fantastic. But she ran on island time, so it was like the opening time was posted for 5 o'clock, but we'd be standing out there for like 45 minutes before she came out of the pub down the street.
Yeah.
Oh, food was amazing. Business didn't last long, but the food was fantastic.
I see that Cheryl is saying that she did not have much luck skiing, and the same thing with Bettina. Yeah, I fear that I would be much the same. I would probably spend most of my time just sitting in the snow going, what is up with this? Why did somebody invent this crap? I want a snowmobile now. Or put me in the sky thing so I don't have to bother with this stuff.
Yes, yeah.
Path of least resistance, really.
I'd do the ski lift. I'd make some snow angels. Then I'd go back and hot cocoa laced with Guatemalan rum.
That sounds so much better than trying to fight gravity over and over and over again.
Kathleen says, in Minnesota, we are hardcore. We never have any snow days even after we get dunked with massive snow.
You are a hardy bunch. Wow.
You get purified in the waters of Lake Minnetonka there. Sorry, I've watched a lot of MST3K, which is very Minnesotan based, and I go off on kind of a tangent there, don't you know?
Did you know all those Prince references until I indoctrinated you into the wild world of Prince?
I did not. I had no idea there are so many Prince references in MST3K. But yeah, fantastic stuff.
Yes, it makes it so much better because Prince was magnificently weird. I think I've been bringing him up in like the last 4 live streams, but he's just he's like, to me, he's like a hero because he's so weird. And yet he's so sexy and he's so talented that he can be that weird. And people will still be totally fine with it. Life goals.
Kathleen says, Hawaii was amazing for me. I'd like to go to Hawaii. See some nice wildlife there. Have some more of the Kona coffee.
Yeah, that our friend Aaron turned us on to.
Thank you again, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
And yeah, I've got some people I know in Hawaii actually, because besides Aaron and anyone else from Hawaii who joins these live streams. When I was talking about those Colorado trips, it was my math teacher from middle school and his friend who ran a school in Hawaii, who was like the headmaster of a school in Hawaii. They put this together. So we'd have Ohioans and Hawaiians coming together to visit Colorado, basically. So, you know, my buddy Joe, let's look him up someday.
Shelly says that Sierra Vista, Arizona is the hummingbird capital of the world. Flying, I would love to see that.
Oh, love hummingbirds. Friggin' adorable.
Yeah, right now we recently just built a little like bird spa in our backyard. And we've got the bird feeder and we've got like a little planter garden that I put in like little containers. And then we've also got a water feature. I bought this gigantic bird bath with like a little bubbler in the middle so we don't get like mosquitoes and stuff breeding in it. And my hope is that we will get birds enticed to come closer to the house and that they will be cute and wash themselves and we will be able to watch them from the comfort of our air-conditioned living room. Let's hope that happens.
Yes. Becca
Says, I was born in Rochester, and Niagara Falls is definitely one of my best childhood memories. It is a fun place to visit.
Yeah, definitely.
I like the Ripley's Believe It or Not auditorium. And am I remembering correctly?
No, that's there.
Casa Loma, the fake castle.
Oh, I don't remember that.
No. It was in the Scott Pilgrim versus the World movie.
Oh, Barbara says the way Heather feels about Prince is exactly how I always felt about David Bowie. Oh, I love some Bowie. I've been trying to indoctrinate him slowly because, but like Prince is easy to get. He's not subtle. You know what I mean? Like all of his sexual innuendo is not so much innuendo as much as like it's like
it's not innuendo. It's just like there. He just says it.
It's an audio striptease, really. But with David Bowie, like there's craftsmanship in the obscurity. Like he likes to make things a little bit more abstract, so you get to put your own interpretation on it. Like he's that way with his gender. He's that way with his fashion. He's that way with his visuals. He's that way with his music. It's phenomenal. Like the man was so precise and so intentional. And David Bowie is outrageous. Like just thinking about him and his legacy, like the way he left this earth again is like life goals. It's like he knew it was coming and he planned for all of these gifts to keep coming from his estate afterwards. Like here's this album and here's this album. It's just, and the video he did like right before he died with Tilda Swinton. Did you ever think that David Bowie looked like Tilda Swinton? Or that Tilda Swinton looked like they did a music video where they like swapped.
Yeah, because I saw
good.
I saw the movie Orlando.
Everything that man did was brilliant. And there are some of his songs that are just outrageously, phenomenally good. Like that whole Ziggy Stardust album is amazing. I love all of the Berlin albums. I even like the album that he did with Trent Reznor, even though it's a little bit cynical. Like it's still very good. I smile when I go to the sushi place and they play I'm Afraid of Americans. I'm like, this is a weird world that we're living in, and I love it. But yeah, David Bowie's amazing. When we went to London, and what was the museum we went to where they had that fashion display?
That would probably be the Victoria and Albert.
They had some of his stuff displayed there at the time. That was really cool. I would love to see more of that because he was so fashion focused.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with you.
Janet says, travel is about adventure. Adventure includes risk. If you live through it, you will have amazing memories.
Hear.
Absolutely.
Hear. And absolutely. Like, I would not duplicate that experience that I mentioned earlier just because I'm older now and I would be too scared. But I'm glad that I did it at the time, especially since nothing bad happened. And it left me with a wonderful impression of Canadian kids. If all Canadian kids are like those kids, the kids are all right. We're gonna be okay. You know what I mean? It was very life affirming to realize that they could have been terrible to me, but they weren't. They were very sweet and accommodating, and they knew that you know I was kind of in over my head, and they looked out for me the whole time. That's the way everyone should be. So we should all basically do an impersonation of Canadian kids circa 1999 is what I'm saying.
Well, let's see what we got here. Funny you should say that. I'm so glad the Canadian kids took care of me. Says Kathleen.
Definitely. Oh, Kathleen says she loves Bowie. Anybody that's got an eye for art or fashion probably has a soft spot for David Bowie, I would imagine, because he's just that prolific.
Very good. Pommes frites. Yes. I would love to go to France, dream vacation.
It's wonderful. Just if you don't speak the language, try. They'll give you credit for trying, I promise you.
Yeah.
But if you don't try, they'll be rude as hell to you. And at least that was my experience. But if you try, they'll be very kind and they will be very accommodating. Really. Even in Paris. But if you don't try, that's when they get a little rude.
Shelley says, I'm crazy about bats too.
Bats are awesome.
Outstanding.
They're wonderful.
Well done.
Yeah. That was something we would do at night when we were in England because they have a very healthy bat population compared to here in the States. I don't know if you realize this, but a lot of the bat population here in the U.S. has been wiped out due to white nose disease.
Poor buggers.
Yeah. But in England, they don't have that issue because I think they're immune. So when we went,
It's mostly habitat loss that does it for the British bats.
yeah, but we would go bat watching like
Yeah.
almost every night, and it was so fun because they get close, but they don't get too close, and they're so graceful.
And silent.
They're silent and graceful and cute and little, teeny tiny.
Yeah. Little pipistrelles are so adorable. Right? Little fluff balls with wings. It's all kinds of stuff. Heather and Meanwhile were my kind of people, says Kristen. Thank you,
That's
Kristen.
right. Thank you.
Barbara says if there had been more bats on Roanoke Island, maybe the lost colonists might not have been carried off by the giant effing mosquitoes.
Oh my god.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I think that's about it for tonight's live stream. We went a little over even. Hi, Elaine.
Hello, Elaine. Let's see.
So is there anything else you want to add before we wrap things up, honey?
Let's see. Bettina says Hobbit Town.
Where's that?
I'm sure that's
Is that in New Zealand?
New Zealand, yeah, probably.
That'd be fun to look at.
Becca says chocolate beer, waffles, and fries. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, if you can watch us from Belgium, then please let us know how the food is, and if you have any recommendations, please let us know, because we're always in the mood for hearing about interesting travel suggestions, especially when it comes to food.
That's right. He's very interested in food suggestions. Full stop. So no shame in that, because then I can eat a little, and then when I don't eat, he gets to eat. So it's like a win-win for both of us.
Oh wow, we got loads of comments here.
Well, we got to wrap things up, honey.
Yeah,
We've been doing this for over 2 hours. So.
All righty. All right then. In that case, then, sorry folks, but we are giving it. Oops, come on. There we go. There we go. Hang on, something's going on. Where did that go? The bastard. Okay, right. Let's try that.
You can do it, honey. I believe in you.
There we go.
Woo!
Right.
You did that earlier. You second guessed.
I missed
You
it out.
second guessed yourself. You were actually right the first time.
I was right the
See,
first time.
self-doubt.
And then I got it wrong.
You got it wrong because you were second guessing yourself.
Yeah.
You were right the first time.
Right, so if you aren't signed up to our newsletter, here are instructions for
Please
doing so.
do that.
And Barbara, we've been complaining about YouTube not letting our subscribers know that we've got something up. So Barbara very helpfully suggested last week, if you click on the bell and choose all. Once I began doing that, I've been notified of every live you do. So that's an excellent tip. Thank you for sharing that, Barbara.
Yeah.
We're going to share that pretty much from every live stream now on until, whenever it stops being necessary, which will probably be never.
That's
because
right.
YouTube.
Yeah.
All right.
But thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I hope that you had a wonderful night, and we are really looking forward to talking to you again next weekend.
Yes, indeed.
Next weekend, if you're okay with it, we're going to talk about brushes. Last night when we had the live stream, people had a lot of questions about makeup brushes and what my favorite makeup brushes were. So I'm going to inspect my collection and figure out which ones I keep using over and over again. And I'll give you like a basic tutorial on the ones that I use the most in case you want to add those to your collection, or just find a cheaper doppelganger. It's all fair game. So thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah.
And you know what, though? Sorry, it moved. Elaine, you got here late, but you came here after all, and we still really appreciate you joining us. We've got somebody mentioning coffee, Coke, and for some reason I thought of Coke-flavored coffee cake, and that still sounds really good, and I kind of want to make that now. I don't know why. Maybe it's because we were talking about Coca-Cola earlier, and cake is always on my mind.
Yeah, obviously, because cake.
But good night, everybody,
Yes,
and
indeed.
I hope you have a wonderful evening, and we will talk to you again next week. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us.